Hello and welcome to part 3 of my little guide to the ArmA 2 editor. I'm James, and today I'm going to be covering groups. Now, the groups function, F2, has two uses. One, to link units together in a chain of command organised by their rank, and two, to spawn a group of already linked units. I'm going to demonstrate the linking first with 3 units. The first one will be a sergeant. The second one will be a private. And the third one will be a private. Now, I'll swap to groups by clicking on the sidebar or pressing F2. Now notice how the player, who is the sergeant, has 2 light blue lines coming from him to the 2 AIs. The AIs follow him because he is the highest ranking member in the group. The highest ranking member in the group will always be in charge. But say I do not want him in the group, and I just want to link these 2 together. I can remove him from the group by simply clicking the down left mouse button on him, drawing out the little grey line to just anywhere in particular, but releasing, and he is removed from the group. If I want to add him back in, I simply click on the unit, drag the little grey line to him, release, and that's linked those 2 together. I'm going to have to repeat this process even, to include the both of them. And that's the basics of how you link units together in a chain of command, remembering of course that the highest ranking unit will always be the leader of the group. And usually, of course, when you spawn just individual units, they will automatically group together. Now, getting onto the bigger function of the groups tool, and possibly the more useful one, the spawning in groups. Double click anywhere on the map. This brings up the insert group window. You'll be familiar with a lot of this already, but let's go through it anyway. Side determines what factions you have access to and what you're hostile towards. For instance, civilians aren't hostile towards anyone, but Blue 4 and Op 4 are hostile to each other all the time. Now, faction dictates what type you can have, and you can have many different types of faction. We will go for British Armed Forces in this. Now, type basically allows you to choose between infantry or armour, infantry and tanks. For instance, we've got tanks at the bottom, but mechanised infantry, motorised infantry, and normal infantry, they're all basically infantry, aren't they? So, let's go with infantry. Now, name, this last little box called name, is a bit misleading, because what this one allows you to do is spawn different types, different groups of infantry, different squads. For instance, we've got the section, which is quite a big one. We've got fire team, 4 different types of fire team, which are very small groups, and you've got specialist groups like tank busters and sniper teams. We'll start with a fire team just for this one. A zoom in dictates which direction the group will follow. Will look. No player was selected, that's not a problem. See? We've got a fire team just there. And just as an example, you can have ArmA. There's a group of tanks. We can have motorised infantry, a group with a car, and we can have mechanised infantry, a group with a tank. Not all factions will have tanks though. For instance, the Germans only have infantry, and that's it. Anyway, I hope that was useful. If it was, please let me know. If there's anything I could have done to improve this guide, please let me know. I want to impart as much information as I can. But I think that's it. Anyway, I'm glad you watched. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.